Well, good morning everyone, and welcome back to Breakfast with Evo. And we're here outside the clubhouse, and we're on that putting surface that you use before you go out to play if you've given yourself a little bit of time. And today we're going to be having a look at green reading, something that we don't really take into consideration well enough while we're out on the course, and it costs us shots all the time. So today I'm going to show you how to read the greens properly and how to understand how we actually use the borrow rather than the borrow working against us. So without further ado, let's crack on and show you what goes on first of all around the hole. That sort of 4-5 foot area round the hole, and how we can work out the final moments of that putt before it drops in the hole. Well, reading greens, it's a mystery to some, but for some others it comes so naturally. It's the way we see. Do we see the slopes? Are they big? Are they easy to establish? Or are they very subtle? Really much more difficult? And if they're subtle, that's where this little exercise here will help you massively. So irrespective of the distance of the putt, if you can't work out the borrow and you haven't made a clear picture in your mind, what you must do is take a look closer to the hole and find out from the hole position just exactly what that putt's going to do. So the simple test is this. All I want you to do is imagine that you're holding in your hand a huge piece of perspex, and I want you to get that perspex, and let's say that perspex has a 4 or 5 feet diameter like this, maybe bigger, and I want you to put it directly on top of the hole so that the center of that diameter is right over the center of the hole. What I want you to do now is I want you to go to different parts of the putt around that diameter and pretend that you were dropping a big lump of mercury onto the perspex. You can drop it from various different positions. And what I want you to do now is I want you to establish where the mercury will roll to. And what I want you to then go and do is that once you've decided where all the mercury is going to go and run to, I want you to go and stand in that position. So let's say, for instance, now I've put my perspex on here and I'm much lower down here than the hole. I can actually see that already, and I've decided that all of the mercury is going to run down here. But on this green, and the way you're looking at me at the moment, that actually isn't true. The mercury dropped at the hole would go away from me. And if you come close to the hole and actually have a look around your 4-5 feet perspex cover that you've placed over the top of the hole, and I want you to then have a look around it and drop. Now clearly this process can't take forever because you've got your playing partners to consider and the people behind you. Obviously you're trying to keep up pace of play, so you've got to make these decisions fairly quickly. So while other people are putting, if you can get into the right position on the green, and then you can move in closer to the hole when it's your turn, and then you can have a go, or you've done your green reading already before anyone's even had a putt. But you've come close to the hole, and now I'm going to go around the hole. If I drop the mercury here, I can see that it's going to go down over here somewhere, so I'm going to get closer to there. If I drop the mercury here, it's going to come further down this way. So I definitely know that this side here now is higher than this side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come round the hole and stand at the lowest point. Now, once I've actually got myself in that position, I'm at the lowest point around the hole. So I know that the ball, wherever it's coming from, will come towards me. If I'm at that lowest point of that 5 feet diameter, I have found out where that ball wants to travel, which is forced by the gravitational pull. Down the slope it goes, and I've found out exactly where it wants to go to. So remember that, that's a really quick tip from around the hole, and if you can do that successfully and do it like I do here, come on the putting green, learn how to do it on the green right here. Okay, so here we are. I've come down to hole 16, notoriously slopey on the front. Everything comes down to the front of the green, and this green, when you're putting downhill or even side to side coming round, whichever way, right to left or left to right, is super fast. What we do in this situation is, remember this now, you can't work out the line of a putt until you've decided the speed you're going to hit it. So remember, you must decide the speed that you're going to hit the putt before you choose a line. So remember, when you're making those choices, you should be making a choice where your ball is just dropping into the hole, not going 4 or 5 foot past, because that's going to leave you a really tricky second putt, and probably 5, 6, 7 times out of 10 you're going to 3 putt. So the job is to get the ball close to the hole. So remember, when you're on a downslope and you know it's dangerous, we're not hitting regular strikes. We're trying to hit the ball softer. We're working on our speed. If you work on your speed more than your lines, you'll be a great putter, guaranteed. So let's have a look at this going down towards the hole. I'm going to just roll it a little bit to my left as I'm looking your right on the screen, and we're just going to get the ball to roll so it just finishes by the hole. That would be great, and you could see there as it slowed down, it turned round to the hole. Now I've deliberately got the camera in a position where it's close to what I was talking about on the putting green, and the fact that it's near to the lowest point, but in actual fact the lowest point is a little bit more round there. But for purposes of filming, now I'm going to roll the ball from slightly further away. Let's have a look and see how much further to the left I now need to start the ball. Okay, so I'm in that 15-foot zone now, and I've brought much more of the slope into play. So now I've got to determine again what pace I'm going to hit this putt at before I choose the line. It's not super fast today because obviously the greens haven't been cut down really low over this lockdown period, but it'll still roll down the slope. And now I've got to look at it, and I'm going to have to roll it much more to my left. Let's see what happens. Whoa, well, it turned in a lot at the end, but I really started it a bit too far the other way. So if it was quicker, it was a good line because I'd have had to hit it softer on that line. Let's have a look from a little bit further away again and see how much it comes round then. Okay, so I'm 20 feet or so from the hole now, and we're going to have a look and see what happens from here. I've obviously got to start the ball much more to the left because it's going to roll round. I'm on much more of the slope. Let's have a look and see what happens. Well, that really turned, as you can see. It's probably moved, even on a green which is fairly slowish, it's probably moved a good 4 feet from left to right. Slightly firmer, would have got close to the hole, but I would be happy with that as a tap in, but I'd have preferred to probably get it a bit closer. Well, we all know what it can be like when we get to the top of this slope, or we've gone on the wrong tier and the pin's down at the front. Really difficult to stop. But remember, if you look at this hill here, this hill does not start here. The actual downslope, which will get the momentum of the ball rolling, starts 10 feet behind me. So remember that. When the ball gets here, it barely needs to be moving. We also know that from the camber off the side of the green, the ball will always roll way, way, way more to the right as well than we think. Let's give it a go, see how close I can get this to the hole. Oh, what a great try. It's gone about 4 feet past and just slightly less pace. It may have even gone in, but just you can see where I rolled it. I didn't roll it towards the camera. I started the ball over here and then the camber did the rest. Remember what I said, we're going to use the slopes, let's not fight them. Remember, you always want your ball to finish as close as you can, and it's the speed that getting that right that's going to help you massively. Well, as usual, no hold putts for me again today, but a little bit more difficult than normal. I hope you've had fun watching me showing you how to read these greens and get the effect of that final 4 or 5 feet and what it's going to do and where you need to start your ball for that ball to get onto the final track to go into the hole. It's like the final approach of an aircraft. Line it up, onto the runway it goes, and if you've got the speed right, you're going to hole that putt. Hope you've all had a great week and enjoyed the videos. Tomorrow is bank holiday, so guess what? I'm going to take the day off. I'll see you all next Monday. We'll have another exciting week of competitions and videos. Stay safe, everyone. Have a great bank holiday weekend. See you all soon.